brother Nina Vidaka, what would you see as some of the prerequisites that you would like to see in place to help or to facilitate Africans in the diaspora being attracted to overcome all of these challenges that they are going to meet if they desire to resettle in Africa? And that doesn't necessarily mean that we will pack up or send a barrel with all of our belongings and just wipe our hands, because we didn't build up England just to leave it for them to have. We have a stake here. If the truth be told, we really do have a stake here. And how can we leverage our stake in the United Kingdom to also mirror that stake in the African or on the African continent?
Tonight, some praises. Prerequisite number 1. Read Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus.
Good point. Good point.
Prerequisite number 2, read Message to the People.
Yes.
By Tony Martin, and there's 22 essays of the program of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. I say that, brothers and sisters, because that gives us the black print. Before I go any further, I'm going to qualify that in a moment. But before I go any further, I want to make it abundantly clear this evening, brothers and sisters, humbly, I want to say that our wealth as African people is not defined nor measured by per capita income. That's somebody else's definition and measurement of our wealth capacity, not ours. Our wealth capacity as a people is defined by our human and land capacity. In other words, our own labor capacity, our own ingenuity, and our own skills is what defines our wealth, our ownership of land, our ownership of property, our ownership of natural resources, our ownership of factories, our ownership of businesses is what defines our wealth. Our acquisition of power is determined by our ownership of all of the above, including our labor and our ingenuity.
That's right.
See, someone else is defining our wealth capacity because someone else owns our labor and our ingenuity. When we go to work, someone is paying us to make 10 times, 20 times, 100 times what he's paying us to keep him rich. If we want to measure our wealth capacity, measure the wealth of the companies we work for. And what is the company earning from every African who works in that company? Am I making sense so far, brothers and sisters?
Yes, you are.
Now, what does that do? What does that have to do with the question of imprisonment of African people here in the UK and even on the African continent? See, there's a relationship, there's a correlation between criminality, imprisonment, and poverty.
Yes.
That's right.
Am I right or wrong, brothers and sisters? Yes?
Yeah.
And we need to look at that. Because we have abdicated our own power, which includes our wealth. Someone else can turn our young people, because we have not built the institutions to protect our young people, to socialize our young people, to culturalize our young people, to politicize our young people, to educate our... That's the only reason why young people are being reduced to criminality. And that's the only reason why young people, we have Twilight Bay in the Gathering, he talks about this kind of thing all the time. That's the only reason why our young people are killing each other. Because they don't know themselves. And we haven't done for them what we should have done for them. No African child should be in a European school, for a start. Not one. No African woman giving birth to her African baby should go into a European hospital for a European to put hands on that baby before that baby is received in the hands of another African in an African community, in a safe African environment. to the rolling of drums. Are you all with me, brothers and sisters?
So it sounds like, Leader Mbendaka, that based upon the passion that you're sharing this evening and the commitment to African values, that in certain parts of Africa, you might struggle to find your level of commitment to the cause of the rearing of an African in that way. Because when I was in the Gambia, and I saw a lot of westernization, the desire to be more Western. I saw my brothers wearing Arsenal tops with Özil on the back, which was quite weird for me. It wasn't Mikel or one of our brothers who were playing, it was Özil, a Turkish German. So all of that to say, what have we learned? Because for me, I'm seeing an exchange. We've been living amongst this European for an inordinate length of time. We in the Nation of Islam, we calculate it to be 464 years, because we believe the first ships left from here in 1555 that was captained by Sir John Hawkins and funded by Queen Elizabeth I. But that's not what we're here to discuss today. The house with this man and maintaining our African traditions and can bring that same commitment home. What sort of exchange do you believe we have to negotiate prior to making this particular trip? Because we're bringing something, from what I'm hearing you saying, the way how you're articulating it and the passion, we're bringing something tremendously, fundamentally African back to Africa, even though we've been reared in the diaspora.
Absolutely.
So I want you to just summarize with that in regards to the degree to which we need Africa and the degree to which Africa needs us.
Let me put it this way, my beloved brother. Africa has been westernized. That is true. But that is the result of 400 years of slavery and 100 years of colonization, perpetuated to this day by neo-colonization, a new system of colonization that has morphed into globalization as we know it today. To the extent that all the institutions, the main institutions of Africa are European and Eurocentric. Nana will tell us this. Yes, but Nana will also tell us that there are forces on the ground which are still trying to preserve. She is a manifestation.
That's right.
Still trying to preserve our traditions and bring our traditions back to the fore. And that's a vital prerequisite for us achieving that empowerment and the sovereignty that we still seek. It will not happen. You see, we talk about reparations. We know that reparations starts with self-repair.
All right.
And no people have ever liberated themselves speaking the language of their oppressor, praying to the God of their oppressor, wearing the garments of their oppressor, eating the food of their oppressor. There's a saying on the African continent, and I heard it first in Ghana, but it's not unique to Ghana, that if you go into church on a Sunday morning and you see a white man, you don't need to go to church no more because you've seen God. There are Africans on the African continent. That's laughing. You know what I'm talking about. There are Africans on the African continent who actually believe that. There was an article recently in South Africa where they brought a white man dressed like this so-called Jesus. And everybody just went spear thinking this was him. One more thing, if I may. One more thing, because I said I would qualify something. I want to qualify here. Lots of opinions of Marcus Garvey. Message to the people. Tony Martin, hail him, race first. Brilliant work on the legacy and the life of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Messiah Garvey. And we will learn, amongst other things, about Papa Garvey's repatriation program.
That's right.
Second to none. In 1924, the Universal Negro Improvement, as it was called then, the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League
Of the world.
sent $50,000 worth of industrial and technical equipment to Liberia. It was known as the Liberia Project. So what we did was we organized for power, and then we affected the African continent with that power. Of course, we know what happened. It was sabotage. But, brothers and sisters, we're looking at the principle of harnessing our human and natural capacity in order to demonstrate power. Let me round it up. Let me crown it with this.
Crown it, brother. Crown it.
1919, September 1919. The UNIA set a ship called the SS Frederick Douglass on sea. The first ship to sail under the auspices
of the Black Star
Line Steamshipping Company.
That's right.
Africans from around the world sent funding. The word was put out in May of that year. By September, we raised enough money in the United States of America to purchase a ship costing $165,000. That's millions in today's money. We organized for power, and contributions came from the African continent.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Pause here.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for that.
Achomi na ajele gbojokwe ni biane nyenko Gokkush TV nyeyiradon. My name is Na Ajele Gbojokwe, and right now you're watching Gokkush TV. Thank you.